first of all, apologize for us not being able to meet for a few weeks. Between the election, the plumbing crisis at the venue here, and approaching Thanksgiving holiday, the meetings on Sunday just didn't work out for a couple weeks. So I apologize for that. Glad to see you're all here. Hello in the internet. Glad you're there too. Thank you so much for all your emails of support and encouragement. Please keep those coming, because sometimes this is a long and lonely road to try to propel the ministry forward. To help this venue stay afloat is a challenge. So keep sending your little checks and donations. We'll pass the hat in a little bit. But before we get started on actual service and discussion, I did want to remind everybody that our performance choir, the Ensemble, meets here on Sundays pretty much right after we're done, around 2 o'clock. And it's a vocal and instrumental performance group. And again, of course, we're non-denominational. So we're going to be doing some light secular and sacred music, not heavy hymns or anything like that. Mostly this group is trying to support Sacred Heart of the Rose and the venue, Logan Street Sanctuary. So the goal is to do performances out in the public, in the community, hopefully for hire, hopefully for money, that will then go to help pay the rent here for us, for Sacred Heart of the Rose. And that's important because we all want a safe place to gather. So right now the Ensemble is an all-volunteer choir performance group. Nobody's getting paid. These people are coming together and singing and playing instruments out of the goodness of their heart because they believe in the mission and the venue. So come on out and support them sometimes. If I'll keep you informed of where they might be performing, and you can come out and support them and help us keep that going. If you're interested in joining the group, if you play an instrument or if you sing, please feel free to come to practices, and we'll try to see if you can fit in with us. We're very small right now, but we're going to grow, and we're always looking for more people who are willing to give of their time and their talents. And right now, that's what we're doing. We're giving of our time and our talents and raising our voices to support this place and Sacred Heart of the Rose. So I want to thank all of them. Some of them are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And those that can't be here today, thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next time. So take a quick break, have a little bit of refreshments, and then we'll get to our theological discussion on God. Where do we find Him? What do we think of Him? Is it a hymn? We got a lot to talk about today. So thanks for letting me do the little shout out for the Ensemble. And we'll be right back with a big discussion, and then we'll end that with some more quotes that came in since the last time we met, theological quotes about faith and the idea of God and faith. So we'll do some quotes and we'll have a discussion, and I feel good. I feel good that we're back. So I've missed seeing you guys the last few Sundays. So okay, let's get some refreshments and then we'll get right to it. All right. Busy few weeks, so I'm glad that we were able to get together today and return to this conversation. We still have a long way to go. I feel like we have a lot more to discuss on this. I really love some of the points that you all made, though, and I promised last time we were here that I would go through some of the emails that I received. I asked as homework. I asked people to send in quotes that had to do with faith or God. Again, I used that title, that name, that God, because it's something that most of us in Western culture are familiar with in terms of that entity, that spiritual being that most traditional religions will refer to as God. I use that for easy. It's easy for us to relate to. For me, like I said before, not necessarily a male, female, gender-neutral entity. It's just some kind of entity that I have some sort of faith in. I'm not really sure. One of the quotes that came in that's one of my personal favorites was said by Isaac Bashevis Singer, and the quote is, "Doubt is part of all religion. All the religious thinkers were doubters." And I think that's a really important thought in terms of what we were talking about today and what we will probably be continuing to talk about in person and online. Those of you who are out there in the internet world, keep sending me stuff. We do discuss it. A couple others I wanted to reference. C.S. Lewis said, "I believe in Christianity as I believe that the sun has risen, not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else." So that's an interesting reference, that you may not be able to see God, but you see whatever your faith terms that entity, but you see the world that you believe was created by that entity. Which raises another question. Do we believe that the world as we see it, life as we know it, what we perceive, was created by an entity? I don't know. We'll have to talk about that. Then here's one that I really I think is really interesting. Everybody's heard of Napoleon Bonaparte, and he said, "If I had to choose a religion, the sun as the universal giver of life would be my God." Now, he was the French Revolutionary, right? But he referenced, a sun god like Apollo, or the Aztec sun god, or the Mayan sun god, a very pagan idea. So significant to me personally. It was sent in by one of the internet members. Gilbert K. Chesterton said, "Let your religion be less of a theory and more of a love affair." That's interesting. Take it personally. What you put into your faith, your religion, your beliefs is what you'll get out, right? Love is a verb. It's an action word. So that's something that probably we all could work on a little bit better. So I think a lot of the quotes that were sent in are just amazingly fabulous. I'll put together a document full of quotes, and we'll share that. Some of them are kind of funny. Bill Maher said, "The Bible looks like it started out as a game of Mad Libs." That's kind of funny. I don't know. I'd have to find some of those quotes from the Bible and see if we can Mad Lib them. Soren Kierkegaard said, "Prayer does not change God, but it changes him who prays." And I think that's kind of that's a good approach. Maybe we don't need to worry so much about the entity and how the entity responds to us, or if the entity responds to us. But how about we just work on ourselves and what the idea of faith or prayer or taking action in the name of our faith can do for us. A lot of people believe in doing good works, and being righteous in your own personal life, or whatever that means to you. Again, all of these words are very scary to me. I don't like to throw them out there. I feel like we need to define what is righteous, what are good works. All of these words are so loaded with traditional religious connotations. They're so steeped in the history of the Catholic Church or the non-Catholic Christian religions, or Judaism, or anything like that. It's really hard for me to present these words when they're so loaded. But I think in your own, this ministry, Sacred Heart of the Rose, is so focused on the personal journey, the personal investigation, the personal faith that you have. This is a safe place where we can all come together to discuss and share those thoughts, but no one person is the leader or the way. No one journey is perfection. And I feel like some of these words can trip us up. Some of these historical religious phrases are difficult. Even using the word God to describe that which you have faith in, for lack of a better phrase, is loaded. It's loaded with patriarchal, cultural, religious symbolism, and we have to overcome that personally, I guess, and either find a new word or use that word in our own way. And the same is true for things like good works and righteousness. What is righteousness? It can slide right into self-righteousness really fast. And I think in the modern world, some of the issues we're having in our own country have to deal with an awful lot of self-righteousness about being righteous, if that makes sense. I feel like this ministry has kind of taken on a new goal in recent weeks post-election. I feel like the ministry needs to reach out to people of all faiths and no faiths. You may not believe in anything, but you come here and express that, and feel safe. And safety seems to be becoming a huge issue in our country just a few short weeks after this presidential election we just went through. So, if you're out there in the internet, you're here, if you know someone who's afraid or worried or stressed or fearful, invite them to watch or participate or send emails. You're not alone. We're none of us alone. We may feel it, but we're not alone. So, wow, we've taken a real turn here. I kind of went off on a tangent there. But one of my favorite quotes about faith is really an ancient quote from Cicero, Marcus Tullius Cicero. A man of courage is also full of faith. So I want to leave you with that thought. We've been talking about fear, and we've been talking about all kinds of things today. We really ran the gamut. The video is only a little bit of what we talked about, but a man of courage is also full of faith. So be courageous out there. Don't back down. Don't be afraid. Have faith in yourself, if nothing else. Have faith in yourself, and have faith in the fact that there are people like us who are with you in spirit, if not physically. So I'll leave you with that. We'll pass the hat around. If you're in the internet world, you can always contribute via check or PayPal or anything. So find us on the website, and you can contribute that way if you want. It's not required. It's just, try to keep us in this venue as long as we can. It's good to have a safe place to meet. So, and to get our word out to beyond the physical venue. So, I'll leave you with that, and take care of yourselves, faith, and see you next time.